Hello, how's it going, everyone? How's it going? It is Saturday. Oh, we're finally here. Man, it feels like this week went like forever. Like, my coworkers are agonizing, I swear. But, hold on a second. This is somewhere different. You. There we go. Ah! But yeah, this has been pretty solid. I ended up getting some lavender matcha today. I actually was able to, what's it called? There was a Criterion sale. So I got this is Spinal Tap. It's been something that I've been meaning to have it because the last time I had it, I ended up kind of giving it away to like pawn or no, to thrift. I went thrifting and I gave it away just to kind of clear some of my collection. But I was like, I regret that the most. And then I saw that they actually like released one with lot more extra bells and whistles. So I'm like, okay, this I can do. Look, it was like between three things. Like that Querelle, which I'm thinking of getting at some point, just not right now. The third one was a discounted Saltburn soundtrack. But like while one side looked really good, the other side was like full of songs I didn't know. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna like put on the vinyl and like half of it was gonna be like cool and the other half was just gonna be songs I'd rather not like have to listen to the full rotation. But aside from that, this Monday I have an endoscopy, which is when they like put a little camera down your like esophagus or your throat, and they like kind of look around in there. And when I did the ultrasound, like I think the other day, I have like a benign like liver cyst, so I don't think that's going to do anything. At least I hope not. They say benign, so what's it called? Um, I assume that's just like something at the beginning, or maybe it might require medication, but nothing too terrible. It is important to just kind of take into account. So I just have to go to that and just do all that stuff, but that doesn't interfere with any of my streams. At least I hope it wouldn't interfere with the my throat. I think my throat should be good by like the next day, but I'm just saying in advance. But that's neither here nor there because the everywhere is this game. Because I need to get started with that second half or the second quarter. No, third. There are three routes in this game. I already cleared one of them because Icardi's the goat. But this time around, I have to go with this one. Yeah, this one. Whether to kill time or appease Marlowe, I went to the arcade today. An impromptu video chat resulted in cross-city gaming. Apparently, she'd been out looking for nice recreational things to do. No surprise that even the arcade was top-notch here. The city was just everything better than Quasimir. But Marlowe differed from most people regarding the little things. You know, I played that punching bag game so much, I could still feel the texture against my knuckles. You broke it too. Yes, sir. I love the hell out of that game. Is there one at that arcade? Yeah, but if I break it, it'll probably cost me an eyeball or something. Don't break it then. Duly noted. I ended up trailing out of the arcade. It was jam-packed with kids fresh from after school. The only thing I could play was a slot machine. That in itself wasn't as entertaining, so I found a spot to sit and watch her. Crazy that I still couldn't get over being so many miles apart. Even now it was hard to feign it. Maybe I was just worse for wear. The weather, the vibes. I didn't want to dampen her mood. Didn't want to pick a fight or make her sad. She was so bubbly today. Once I began to feel something, my self-control had to be entirely intact to hide it. It didn't help that Dr. Love was still fresh in my mind, tearing through my thoughts every day since our last session. We wouldn't have had one this week. We had no free time. That moment felt so special, but it ended just like every session did. Just when I thought the rumor was true, he put on his professionalism again. An exercise to get me to my comfort zone. That's all. These machines are cheating! Cheating! Kick it. If the punching bag costs an eyeball, the crane will definitely cost an appendix. Hold on. Esmond keeps calling me. I'll three-way. Don't worry about me, just talk to him. I should probably head out anyway. Are you sure? You said you wanted to ask me something about a text earlier. We'll talk later. Go on. Alright. She was gone. Prematurely. Knowing Marlowe, she had likely realized something was wrong long before finally asking that. Usually she'll wrangle me by the throat to figure out if we weren't so willing to cough it up. Guess we were both practicing our forms of patience and restraint for now. Standing up from the bench, I made way to the exit with the thought to stroll around the mall for a bit. Melrose! Hearing someone shout my name across the food court was nothing short of embarrassing. Knowing exactly whose voice it was made me walk faster. But I stopped and looked at him because, oddly enough, that was the first time he'd ever yelled my name with that much urgency. You're becoming an attention seeker. I've been trying to contact you since the day you left with that radio host guy. I blocked your number. Why would you do that? Are you really cutting me off like this? It baffled me how little his brain seemed to be used to talking to me. At least, it appeared he didn't use his brain. For Hendy, I was always the problem, not himself. Your indecision bothers me. I'm not being indecisive. I'm here, right now, for you. I've been trying to be here, for you. I screwed up. What do you like about me? Why are you fighting to stay together? I deserved an answer at this point. There was a right answer here. He'd better hope he'd find it. But his brows furrowed. He lowered his gaze from mine, almost as if he couldn't find the words to say. I turned on my heels but failed to evade his grasp. It's complicated, Melrose. I like the soft look in your eyes, when everything wasn't so chaotic between us. How you looked at me full of love, how happy you were around me, the vulnerability that you only allowed me to see. Look at you forgetting about my vulnerability, and that it was a baggage that you didn't want. We both know that your emotions, when too high, can be too much, too far. And I can't in good faith say I liked that about you, Melrose. I don't like when you become so clingy with your love. You don't like when you become wrathful with your love. You should know why now. Oh, hello, how's it going? I am currently playing To Kill Eros. It is a visual novel game where I have to date a Cupid. But this is not a Cupid. This is an ex who is not so good. Alright. Why? Asher. How are you finding the game? Oh, the game is really good. I think that I played the first route with Icardi. Icardi's just really infectious. He was just this really cute, like, kind of like Bara Cupid. who's just really peppy and full of love and excitement. The second dude is like a love therapist named Dr. Love, but I haven't come across him at this like scene. I'm not sure what to think about Dr. Love because he's just kind of like conventionally reasonable, but still has like a lot of the Cupid stuff. Because you know when like you do like one route, you learn about like the lore behind like the Cupid stuff, and then you do another route and you learn another perspective of it. But like when the first one kind of paints them in a bad light, you kind of don't want to like really empathize, and you're like, or your mind kind of shuts itself off, and you're like, Dr. Love, you work for like the Cupids, but like y'all are giving Icardi a hard time. And I don't like that. Icardi is bae. I don't know anything about this novel, but I've seen it. Is the writing good? The only one of these types I've played is a furry one. I think that what's it called? I mean, this is pretty decently written. Is the furry one Ad Astra? Because I loved Ad Astra when I played it, but I couldn't play it on here because what's it called? There's like a little explicit for Twitch. But I tend to play a lot of visual novels. I've been playing the Paranormosite games, and those were really awesome. I think it had a bunch of not safe for work. Yeah, because what's it called? Ad Astra was one about like a wolf guy, and you had like intimacy scenes. Furry VN. The best furry VNs are the not safe for work ones. Oh, well, thank you so much. What's it called? My VTuber model parent, Kite Quaro, is really awesome. They tend to stream a lot of art and some Xenoblade stuff, so it's always nice to catch their streams every so often. I also have a few toggles. I got my alien eyes, I got black eyes, I got blush, I got sadness. And that's pretty much my main arsenal to work with. Asher. Because Asher's the same way. Damn. Saying that I suffocate you wouldn't be nicer than comparing me to a sack of shit that tried to kill me twice, don't you think? I was switch to doing VTubing, to be honest. It is kind of nice. I think that what's it called? For me, I'm just like a huge anime fan, so like finding out that like with VTubing I could be like an anime character, like that was something that always made it a lot of fun. But I also am thinking of getting like a furry like kind of avatar, a scaly one, because I want to get like almost like a kind of like purple gecko, because I think like this kind of look has like a bit of like a almost like sort of like lizardy sort of appeal to it. But I wasn't sure whether it would be like a gecko or an alligator. Like a purple alligator or a purple gecko. It's not like that. That's not what I meant. Then what do you mean? You coldly cut me off, then affectionately come back, then shut me down? The fuck do you want from me? It must be impossible for you to keep a level tone when talking to people. You're once again making a bigger scene than it needs to be. Fuck being in public! Increasingly agitated. I know, thank you so much for the follow! I like that in VR chat, but the community I used to stream in is super toxic, so I've always stayed away from my furry femboy VTubing interests. Sometimes the spaces can be a little in between, or not the best. I think that I just kind of lucked out in being a little bit more to myself. So I think as far as the indie scene goes, I was very much like, what's it called? Kind of in the company of really nice people. Like, some of my biggest advocates were just kind of people that had other like more eclectic like VTuber models. Like there's a slime guy named Uzi Oozborn who is really awesome. Very kind and wonderful person / slime. There's like a ton of goblin like streamers that have followed and like gotten really close, like close with to the extent that what's it called? I like send like raids when I do have like a large enough stream. But what's it called? I got my brothers, Soren Caster and King Zexo. They're wonderful and have like the same model artist. So I think I have some of the recommendations at the bottom of my Twitch screen. Yeah, I'll still do VTubing with in a little bit more detail. Yeah, like just check and see if there's other artists that like stand out for you, or if there's like specific artists that you see their art and they do like kind of the models or models and rigging, and like see if that just kind of like fits with what you want to do with everything. I didn't care that we were airing dirty laundry in front of potentially hundreds of people in the mall. I couldn't be bothered to care, because something about today had me at my wit's end. The loud-pitched scream cut the tension between us, both looking at the source of the louder fuss. The woman I'd met at the cafe the other day came rushing at us at full speed. It was a display so bizarre that I stood still, unsure of what my next move was supposed to be. The woman decided for me. No, don't worry. What's it called? I like being able to chime in every so often. Sometimes the reading in and out, like, what's it called, can help kind of ease the tension of, like, a specific scene. Able to relax my throat a bit. The woman decided for me. I have something to talk to you about. Wow. Was there a single self-aware bone in her body? Was she capable of feeling embarrassed? I asked myself these things as she grabbed my wrist and dragged me along with her. We kept running until we were outside the mall entirely and a little way down the road. Only then did she finally let go of my wrist. I don't get enough recognition for this shit. We both stood trying to recover our breath before she regarded me with a smile. Why'd you do that? I figured if I made a tense scene you guys were making the intense scene you guys were making into a super bizarre blonde lady kidnapping you, it'd be less embarrassing for you. I don't care what people think. It came out harsher than I wanted it to, fueled by the memory of Dr. Love. I couldn't help wincing, slightly remorseful. I do, and I felt like what you two had going on wasn't anyone else's business. Yet you got involved. Couldn't leave my friend's client stranded. Besides, that guy you were talking to, it isn't my place, but he's dating another person already. He still goes to see them, even while they're in jail. She smiled wryly, but it wasn't news to me. 8 months of dating, and one night I learned Asher existed. In the same breath, I was revealed to be the side piece. And he couldn't make up his fucking mind to save himself. The jailed person is in fact Asher. He must have lost his brain cells following me while still messing around with him. I definitely can't go back. Not while he's still talking to that guy. Besides, he doesn't love me. Just the idea of me loving him. Thanks, I guess. Not at all. We single people have to protect each other's hearts. That's kind of weird to say, but I'm not gonna comment. You just did. Yeah, anyway, steer clear from him. He's a jerk, and nothing good will come from being tangled up with him. She didn't stick around long enough for me to ask what her relationship with Hendy was, but she left enough of an impression to be curious about her. We weren't scheduled to meet today. Still, my feet found their place in front of the studio building after what had been a walk home. Out of interest, what software are you using for tracking and rigging? I am using a VTube Studio, which what's it called? You would upload like kind of like your model and like the rigging assets to it, and then like kind of just be able to turn on your webcam. And sometimes you have to kind of like gauge exactly like what the sort of metrics are behind like exactly like how wide your eyes open or your mouth. Do you need to pay for VTube Studio? I think that it. I feel like there's a free version, but I think that what's it called? I don't think it's too much money to pay for. I don't remember it being very expensive. Or like the reason why you would pay for it is on the off chance that you end up like streaming from your phone. I don't really do that, but I know some people do. Let me check the official website at times, because what's it called? Yeah, I think that if you downloaded VTube Studio, like it would just tell you to go through Steam. Yeah, there's a free version, or you can buy like the ability to remove the watermark for $9. But because of the Steam sale, like it's only $9 to remove like the VTube Studio like watermark from like your initial like website or webcam. But like I think it was pretty reasonable. Or it's usually like a free thing, VTube Studio. Pop in my head and say hi, then go home. That was the goal. When I got to his office, his head was lying down on his desk. His office door was ajar, so I let myself in without so much as a word. He had fallen asleep with his glasses on. My hands reached and carefully removed them. I thought I was being as gentle as possible, but his eyes opened and stared directly at me. It's improper to come into my office without approval, Mr. Figueroa. Call me Melrose. That is unprofessional. A little more unprofessionalism couldn't hurt. He lifted his head off the desk and rolled his neck. What brings you here, Melrose? Perhaps it was the fact he had only just woken up. But the unused dryness of his voice saying my name at a low whisper made my ears tinkle pleasantly. I wanted him to say it again, but I bit back the urge to ask. I just wanted to say hi. No, you could easily call or text for that. He straightened himself and gave his attention to me. Talk to me. My body's trembling underneath his gaze. Those heavenly colored eyes left me feeling weak, yearning. He wasn't human, and that fact alarmed me before, but not right now. Now, it was different. Maybe another species entirely made him more appealing. He couldn't judge me by human standards. Right? He wouldn't do that. What the hell's wrong with me? There's nothing to say. There is. Something is wrong. You're trying to keep a placid face. He knows. He can tell. Is this the product of all my confessions? I'm not that hard to read, am I? The touch of his fingers burned my hand. But I didn't pull away. I wanted him to burn me more. It's just my face, Dr. Love. My eyes danced across his lips before reconnecting with his gaze, fast enough to witness the exact moment when he registered the tension rating for me. The exact moment he'd given me a look of uncertainty because of it. Just forget everything. Like I said, I only came to say hi. What? Within a abrupt second, Dr. Love was up from his chair, enveloping my body in his warm embrace. I'd lost some footing and we stumbled back against the wall next to the desk. Despite that, he didn't let me go. My mind hazed, hands clawed into the back of my shirt, desperate to be closer. Yeah. Yo. It's always nice when you get to the visual novel part where there's like a graphic and you're like, oh. His hand cradled the back of my head, threading through my hair gently. I felt greedy. It wasn't enough. How pathetic it was that he was simply being sympathetic to me. And I clung in hopes for more like a fool. He was aiming to help me find my soulmate, yet I just wanted him. Oh. Why did I want him so badly? If you hold me like this, I might not let go. I said it as a warning, but I hoped he wouldn't heed me. Hope is not a replacement for prayer, so he let go of me. The loneliness settled in again. What happened today? Ran into Hendy again, but I'll tell you about that next time. Who is Feme? He sat on the edge of his desk, rubbing his chin contemplatively. I wonder if this was one of those moments where he'd withhold it from me. Feme is a good friend of mine. She stops by here often. In her own way, she helped me out, so tell her I said thanks again. He adjusted his loose and crooked tie to be even worse. I huffed a laugh. No matter what, he just couldn't look the part. That made it easier, and difficult for me to be in front of him. I'm gonna go now. Can't hold you up here. I'll take you home, assuming you didn't drive here. Else, I can just see you on the I could just see you to the door. Careful, doctor. Don't be so attentive to me. I forced a smile and retreated from the office, closing the door behind me. I looked over my shoulder. As I left, he didn't follow. Having watched him leave my office, I was convinced something was wrong. Something bad happened today. Whether he sought me out to talk about it, or for comfort evaded me. But I was unhappy with how he left. I could have done more for him, but riddled with regret, I felt a presence join me in the room, phasing through my ceiling. Adopting a placid expression, I looked him in the eyes. A facilitator. I came to check a discrepancy in your files, Dr. Love. Discrepancy? What do you mean? Your reports are missing a person. One singular person. Where's this coming from? On record, you tap into the ripples of fate via the matching pool an average of 15 times per day. It has become an average of 16 for one day almost each week, but there is no detail of the 16th time in our systems. All love forecasters must share the information of the humans who have utilized their efforts. That is the rule. I know the rules. Then where are the 16th's files? I hold back a scoff at him, reducing Melrose to a mere number. It may define the number of people I engaged with during the day, but he was no 16th person. I couldn't interact with him at any point given. Restricting him to a number felt like some task in repetition. I'm compiling them. They're new to me. So, you're taking your time with it, as if you can afford the leisure. We love forecasters are just as stressed and overworked as you are. Really? Well, do your job efficiently, and then I can help you. Holding on to 16's files will keep them from being matched sooner. A forecaster's job isn't to force a connection, but to guide them to said connection. It is not detrimental that I send it in immediately. You're acting strangely. Should I supervise you for a bit? No, I'm just tired very often. Well, you are among the eldest Cupidine. Perhaps the time of rest is approaching. Perhaps the face I wore was too cold that his superiority seemed to falter for the briefest second. He cleared his throat and straightened himself up. I expect you to report your files sooner, or I will begin a minor scaled supervision of your forecasting. We can't have you committing another sin, can we? You will have the files soon. Do not threaten me. I hope I will not have to do it, Simeonius. His presence faded through the roof. Shortly after, I could no longer feel him. Feme entered my office. By the gods, that was terrifying to witness. I must have done something to alarm them. They haven't paid me this kind of attention since my early beginnings as a forecaster. I may have blabbed about you having a unique client that you asked me about. Honestly, I didn't think it was a big deal, but he might have gotten curious. You know the younger facilitators are always trying to stretch their authority over you. Hearing her say that made sense. She was the goddess of rumors, so keeping her mouth shut was not as easy as it could be. Submitting the files may result in checking his history. While that wasn't dire, any curious Cupidine could dig down his family line and learn of his ancestry. It would endanger him immediately. I'd prefer not to, but I need to form a plausible replacement for his files, and I'll have to stop doing forecasts with him. I'll have to lie. Melrose came by. He told me to say thanks again for him. Ah, the Henderson situation. You won't believe it. The two were arguing in the food court. Melrose looked very upset about it. If I hadn't stepped in, I think it would have gotten pretty ugly. I see. I barely had any interest in eating anything, but I found something small just to have a bite. Night rolled over, swallowed up by complete darkness and pelting rain. I didn't receive an alert about the storm coming. It seemed to fit the tone for today. I recalled my encounter with Handy with disdain, then it melted away into guilt. I've always been protective of myself, but did I ignore his signs of distress in the moments where he reminded me of Asher? Or when he was reminded of him? I had no way of knowing. He's still a fucking dirtbag. His relationship with Asher made me wonder if I was his escape when things were rough. Maybe he was just scared to leave Asher, forced to stay out of fear that he'd be hurt. I callously joked about it, but maybe that was true. A knock drew my attention to the front door with a bit of anxiety. I wasn't expecting guests. I swiped the fountain pen from the table and made my way to the front door. Leaving the chain on, I cracked it to peek at the guest. Dr. Love? Hello. Melrose. May I come in? As jarring as it was to see his demonic appearance, I wasn't afraid or disgusted, inviting him without hesitation. I put the pen in my pocket. Despite entering, he lingered by the front door still. Why are you here? Our departure left me a little more concerned than I wanted to be, so I stopped by. Are you truly okay? You could have called me or texted me. I'd rather verify it with my own eyes. The memories of the day played out, and the insanity tensed my mind. Feme's words still rang in my thoughts. Before I knew it, I was asking him, do you like me? In what way? Romantically. He paused, didn't say a word further. I suppose he didn't want to answer if he had a lie about it. I chuckled slightly in response. Should I draw my own conclusions then? Since you're withholding the answer? I want you to say you like me. That's all I wanted to say. That's always what I wanted to say in these situations. But you don't like me, huh? Not in that way. It's easy to get swept up in the amount of concern and care you've poured into me. I can count on my hand how many people are so thorough with me. I keep wanting more. It gets worse the more you think about Marlowe. I didn't feel this way before. I'm conflicted. Sorry. I'm just feeling overwhelmed. Like anything could burst out of me. So if it made no sense, then... He still regarded me with that same blank face, void of emotion. I wanted that look of desperation back. I wanted him to hold me like he did on the bridge or in his office. Why won't you cross that line? I can't be the only one thinking I want you. Anxiety built up in my chest. The sound of the loud rain outside pattered on the roof, followed by a mild rumbling. You need to go. Any more attention like this and I'll get the wrong idea. We could talk about this during my session next week. The storm out there will get worse if you waste time here. I gave his shoulders a light push. He didn't budge an inch. His eyes remained so intense. I felt sick. Hello, Pancake Femboy, how's it going? I am partway through the second route of To Kill Eros. But I am in an argument with, what's it called? One of the oldest cupids in the game. Stop. Hey, do you want to get stuck here? Don't just stare at me. God. You have something to say? Please find some way to fucking say it. The lights flickered, almost indicative of my agitation. Was he also indecisive? Did he even know what he wanted from me? Did he truly want anything from me at all? I'm doing good, just having coffee. Oh, nice. I had some blueberry matcha earlier today, so that was pretty awesome. But I've been making a lot of fresh coffee throughout the week. I usually make like black coffee like in the early mornings. I felt a scream at the back of my throat. Also a burp. Twitching from the throes of torrential anger, tears welled up into my eyes. Hands digging into his disheveled shirt. Blueberry matcha sounds unique. It is a little bit, because what... Oh, wait a second. Oops. It wasn't blueberry. It was lavender. I messed up. I had a lavender matcha earlier today. I had blueberry matcha like maybe last month at some point. But what's it called? Lavender matcha was what I had this morning. It was really good. I made a mistake and I ate the edible flower. But what's it called? Usually I try to like treat myself at the ends of the week because like I'm just so used to like making black coffee in the mornings. Leave. Leave me. I practiced the largest amount of control I could muster, and the lights went out. All the power in this block. No light from the window. Nothing but pitch black. Pitch black in Dr. Love's ethereal, glowing eyes. I don't want to. His answer was a mutter in the darkness, clear enough despite the storm outside. For tonight, I will take responsibility. Oh! Large fingers stretched over my back, pulled me closer. Everything about the gesture was careful, handling me delicately as he had before. The warmth of his breath against my lips, fingers massaged into my hair, the guidance to press against him. I cracked softly in his arms, like a precise needle piercing into a clay vase, cracking in a way that the pieces perfectly fell apart. And that's what I felt like. There's no shattering, no explosion. Crumbled against him, eyes closed and relishing the feeling of nerves blooming all over my body. What? Alright, we'll save this. His hand slipped into my buckled knees and lifted me into his arms with an ease that almost felt embarrassing. White long strands curtained me as he lowered my body against the kitchen table. The sweetness of his tongue filled my mouth. Too good for me. I didn't deserve his soft handling or his patience. Trembling in anticipation of intense lust overtaking him, it didn't happen. Each kiss was slow and sensual. Don't want to get over it. Don't want to get it over with. I prefer to take my time. I didn't care how he melted the tension between us, but like this, I couldn't deny any thought that he intended to make love to me. I couldn't deny the pale hands that slipped underneath my shirt, the fingertips that danced across my tattoos, the lips that peppered my throat, drawing his tongue over my Adam's apple. Doctor, for now, just say love. Love. He claimed my lips again. The more his name spilled from me in delirium, the more his body curled into me. I could feel him hard and pressed against me, a roll of his hips to meet my squirms. Undoubtedly starving for affection, I thought I'd finally be full. But the lights flickered on. We froze. It was the fastest, most infuriating outage I've witnessed in my entire life. Because he changed once we were back. His face, which had been hot with desire, shifted back into that blank stare again. Don't. Dr. Love moved to separate himself from me, but I couldn't let him do that. Not after the moment we just shared. Desperately, I wrapped my arms around his neck and held him in place. No. I can't. Not right now. It's not right. Why now? Why isn't this right? Whatever the reason, it couldn't have been simply cold feet. He initiated. He made the move on me. It can't be me, Melrose. The person who loves you cannot be me. What the hell? Then what were you trying to take responsibility for just now? I could fight him. The anger within me swelled tightly into my chest, threatening to burst, then wash away. The initial feeling of bliss coursed through my body, became dull aches of pain. I've had enough. I tangled my hand in his tie, seizing his lips myself. Mel. I devoured every word. I refused to hear it. The only thing that satisfied me was the moans that slipped past his lips when I let him breathe. Dr. Love's shaky hands grabbed my waist, attempting to distance us. I slapped his hand. Don't touch me! If you regret something, just blame me. Afraid of scandal? Then how about this? Your client came onto you. To help him navigate his feelings, you let him expel frustration with your body once. Then I'm the bad guy, the one who took advantage of your kindness. Sound good? And there it was. His shock melted into a soft, yearning gaze. Like he truly wanted something in this moment. But I had no clue what any of that meant. It didn't matter. I just wanted to finish what he started. He fought my wandering hands before grabbing my chin firmly. His eyes glazed over, studying my face. I doubt everyone would believe that, but it's one that will suffice. Oh man. Oh man, it keeps getting high. Let's see. His admission raised a question in me, but that was the last coherent conversation we had. Swept into less than gentle tension that built between us. Hurried touches and grasps replaced his former patient caresses. As if he were afraid of being caught if he were too slow. But that fear seemed to fade over time. Morning. A first love for the doctor? A well-established and respected Cupidine holding a position as a facilitator. That's what I thought I was. I trained the scouting Cupids and took pride in my work. Unfortunately, being overworked was always imparted with me. My perfect esteemed image was breaking under my fatigue of daily repetition, and against my better judgment I veered off course. This one action changed my life forever. Because I met them. A human whose beauty prevailed all of the injuries and hardships their bodies sustained. Covered from head to toe in drapes of cloth to hide themselves, they lived alone. While fascinated by the concept of love, they feared it, for their life had been full of betrayal and deceit. I don't understand how trust bloomed between us, and when that exact moment was. Should have been alarming that they could see me. Instead, I leaned into this company that wasn't my brethren, sought it out, protected it from myself. This bond I had with them was increasingly dangerous. I was experiencing new things, learning new things. I couldn't let them go. I, as a Cupidine, learned what it felt like to love and be loved. We attempted the sacred practice of marriage and sealed our connection with passion. They were my first and last love. Here I thought something might change after our exchange between 2 days. That wasn't the case. Technically, something did change, but not how I wanted it. I believe I can narrow the search down in this city, Mr. Figueroa. Call me Melrose. Inappropriate. Now I've compiled the readings we've done. I cannot show you the individuals. That I suspect, but I can show you the aligned interest groups. I don't want to see it. And I will have a digital copy sent to you via email later. You can view it whenever it behooves you. Are we just gonna gloss over the fact that you fucked me? Enough to startle him at my directness, he snapped the pen in his hand. Ink spilled over his palm as he rummaged for a batch of napkins to save the documents. I'm here to talk about that. The other forecasting shit? That doesn't matter to me. What is there to discuss? I don't know. How you put up a wall, now you're going back to annoyingly calling me by my last name afterwards. How you haven't answered a single call or text, but only sent a message for me to come here today. You were gone by morning, so I couldn't even talk to you then either. You said that I helped you let off steam. That is what it was. Right, Mr. Figueroa? Say my... Okay. That's what it was before you did it again. It was 3 times, love. The sweat built up on his perfectly practiced poker face. He may not have been capable of lying through his teeth, but that fucking face annoyed me the more I sat here. You're a coward. I won't lie to you, but I will withhold. Yeah, that makes you feel better about yourself. Protects your feelings. It makes it seem like you care about mine. You don't. I do. Liar. You're lying. I can't trust you because I can't trust your expression. You won't tell me anything and you won't show me. So what's real, huh? I gain nothing by lying to you. Stop the wordplay and technicalities. You're not being truthful, and the opposite of that's a lie. You're not telling me what you truly want. Nothing I have said is false, so I've not lied, Mr. Figueroa. Not answering neither, nor confirms, nor denies. Is it fun to play games with me like this? I'm not playing a game. Then stop acting like it. He let out a frustrated sigh and took off the glasses, tossing them on the desk before rubbing the bridge of his nose. This conversation, making it anywhere other than a perfect circle, felt impossible at this point. We should end the service. Why? Come on, you can't be serious right now. Just because we're having a dispute doesn't mean I cannot continue doing my job for you. No, I don't want it. If I can't trust you, I don't need it. I don't need you. Thought hurt me more than my intention to hurt him. The words barely made it out without choking. An icy feeling flushed over me. My eyes blurred, growing hotter. Melrose, Hearing my name, I opened my eyes to find him paused, glaring at the ceiling. Confused, I followed his eyes and witnessed a man in a white coat phasing through the ceiling. Calling Dr. Love's warning, I averted my gaze down to my lap. Excuse me while I make a call. Dr. Love took out his phone, stood up from his desk, roaming the side with his back turned to me. Through the corner of my eye, I could see the Cupid standing beside him. It was so casual that this must have been a practice thing he did when one came to him. The problem was my awareness of it. How is transferring the 16th files going? I believe I was addressing the matter with you the other day. And I said you had a little time to send them before I began supervising you, didn't I, Simeonius? Simeonius. Was that his real name? I don't recall I've ever heard anyone say it, not even himself. He's always been Dr. Love. I couldn't see his expression from here, but his shoulders tensed. Before our meeting began, he told me everything I shared would be between the two of us, unless I gave permission otherwise. So that wasn't true. I will send it tonight. I'm curious who the 16th is. Is it that human over there? I do not follow a particular order with my clients. It could be anyone. Is that so? Well, don't mind my lingering. Get back to your session. Right. He hung up the phone, returned with his poker face again, and his overall atmosphere felt colder than before. Oh, and you already set up YouTube Studio. Just sent a quick one up in one of the stock models. Yeah, it's really awesome. I think that being able to kind of like work with it a bit is really nice. I know I started out with a PNG, so I used an application on itch.io called like VideoTube Studio or VideoTube. But that's just kind of like, what's it called? The little picture just kind of going up and down. But VTube Studio comes in real handy when it comes to like being able to just kind of like have a more animated kind of like stream. So usually in times of emergency, I switch to PNG. Staring into his eyes, I felt something intense. Perhaps he was trying to convey something, but I couldn't handle any more of this. No more hiding. Ending the contract. His eyes widened, but he grabbed a blank statement notice from inside his desk. I like this though. I need to invest in a cool model next. Alright. Yeah, I think it's very user friendly. Like it's one of those things where like when I first started like using like a live 2D model, like I was trying to learn everything about it, but it was one of those things where the interface has been very kind to me. We're truly sorry that the service here doesn't fit your preferences. You wish to terminate this contract and I will assist you. But our goal is to make sure you find happiness, and we would love to see it through to the end. I don't want it anymore. End it. Dr. Love furrowed his eyebrows, but nodded his head understandably. Very well. He pushed the document over for me to sign. Before he could get a word in, I took his pen to leave my signature. About your document, do whatever you want with it. I shoved my hands in my pocket and stood up, heading for the door. Wait, are you the bottom in this novel? I think so. Because when it came to Icardi, I definitely bottomed. Sorry. It's so matter-of-factly. But, like, let me load up, like, this is chapter 6, like... let's see. This is who Icardi was. So someone this big is definitely going to be someone that I have to bottom. It's like, I love how candid it is. OMG. Yeah, Icardi is hot. I ended up having to make him in Tomodachi Life because I'm like, this is a fine guy. But what's it called? Yeah, I definitely bottomed for him, so what's it called? This is the facilitator. Wow. I'm like, what's it called? It was a slam dunk. What an ungrateful human. Unruly human, ungrateful brat. Had it not been for my detriment, I'd attacked that guy, but I left the office, having no mercy on the door instead. Well, the ad's coming up, so I'm gonna just take a short break, but then I'll be right back. Alright. Alright, I'm back. Oops, wrong one. I'm gonna light on a moment. 1, 2, 3. 1, I'll just do these two. Sometimes my tracking is a little off because my hair is really long, so it gets in my eyes. So I'm always like kind of like winking, and it's like ah. But I might just need to adjust something in the back end. All right. I stared at my phone in the living room table, fingers tapping against my knee. My phone had vibrated a few times in the last hour. I was afraid to see who they were from. I knew better than to think that Dr. Love would come for me after I shut him down. But I hoped the messages were at least his. I wanted to know what he cared for, whatever the reason he had to shut me out. Honestly, the whole thing felt like a nightmare that I was reliving. Constant cycle of people stepping into my life, doing whatever, only to leave. He hadn't yet. But to me, he didn't know what he wanted. He was being indecisive. I hated it. The doorbell rang, catching my attention. I hesitantly stood up and approached it. When I opened the door, I froze up entirely. I bought some miniature cakes on the way. Marlo dangled a plastic bag in one hand, while the other held a little suitcase. Mar. I began, but I couldn't control myself. I crumbled into tears in the doorway, filling her with alarm. Oh my god! May! What's wrong? Hey, come on. Come here. She wrapped her arms around my neck and brought me down to a hug. Clinging onto her, I sobbed into her shoulder, unable to stop, unable to calm myself down. Let's go inside and talk about it, okay? Don't worry. I'm here now. A couple minutes after, she settled into my apartment. She handed me a slice of her miniature cake and a cup of milk. I'd stopped crying, but my mood wasn't any better. If anything. What? Yeah. I think sometimes I just get like random instant messages from the Sari bot. They're like what's it called? Like, get your best clicks now at blank.com. Sometimes like there is spam that shows up every so often that's just like, want more clicks? Like, go to this website. But like it's clearly just like spam that's getting filtered in. Be like, I don't know if I've had anybody that's like directly like from the gate like sent me like malicious messages. That's just something where over time I'm like learning. I learn about somebody and I'm like, oh, like what's it called? I don't like how you talked about this person, or like how like mean you were when you were talking or laughing about somebody. If anything, it had been replaced with embarrassment for breaking down on the spot after seeing her. Some reunion it had to be. Why are you back? Last time we talked, you weren't doing so well. So I asked Esmond if it'd be okay to hang here for 2 to 3 days. You didn't have to do that. Oh, come on now. You literally just burst into tears seeing me. Something is wrong. The best thing to do if you want to grow is to pay Google to promote some clips. It's like the best thing to do to grow is to find, to what's it called? To like wish upon the lucky stars and make a nice friend. Make a popular friend. When listening to those people who advertise in your chat, yeah, they're probably. There was a random person that like was like, there's at least like been like maybe 2 or 3 people that are like acting nice to you, and then they're like, oh, by the way, I know how to make a model, or like I know how to like cut out clips. Like, I'll reach out to you in case you want anything. And I'm like, that's shameless. That is so shameless, just being like, your model looks nice. I also make models. If you want another one. Like, here's it is. And I'm like, uh, uh no. Let me get some of this sparkling water in. And Discord people are super nice and just randomly say what they want to look at some art I made. Yeah, I feel like I haven't been on Discord as much. I tend to usually use it for like direct mail or like instant messaging, but like what's it called? I think I try to go on Blue Sky for like commission work, or try VGen, but VGen's like a battle. That's like weeding through like a lot of people. It's not handy, is it? I'll go kick his ass. No, and no asses need to be kicked anyway. Most you could do is bite their ass. And it'll hurt. I'll make sure of it. She took a seat next to me, started chipping away at her slice while staring at me unexpectedly. Expectantly. I mostly use it for gaming sessions. My partner Amana, or what's it called? They go by Verides at the moment. Uh, is really super into gaming, using Discord for gaming or for calls. But for me, I just kind of usually use it for like contacting artists or like being able to contact like other streamers. But I don't have a chance. I don't. I have a hard time setting up my channel. I'm probably gonna have to look up a tutorial for it at some point. But I've been streaming for like probably since 2023, so I've been really putting it off. That's probably why it like was it called. Things are a lot more chill around like the streams. But I like the cozy atmosphere. So what's going on? It's interrogation time, you see. Once she was invested, there was no escaping it. So I told her everything, except the whole demonic appearance and Cupid stuff. She got the gist of it. I can't believe you met and slept with the Dr. Love. That's kind of weird, May. It's kind of wild, May. Then again, you always attract sexy people until we realize they have shitty personalities. Except for Hendy, of course. Thanks for that, I guess. What do you think of him? Love, I mean. I think. I don't know enough about him, but you don't either. He's keeping secrets, but he's been upfront that he would at least. I feel he has his reasons. It's sucky though, since he's in a position that he's in. Or he was. He knows a lot more about you than you do about him. But you said he's very supportive towards you. You think he cares about you, even if he feels the need to hide it. Given he's a celebrity of sorts, maybe his boss or manager or whatever doesn't want him in a relationship. My brow raised at her train of thought. I thought back to our last conversation. He changed entirely when that other Cupidine came in the room. More distant than he had been trying to be in the conversation prior. That makes sense, I guess. If they're being shady like in those movies, then he probably doesn't want him bothering you if they get wind of your affair. Only if we give him the benefit of the doubt. We could just be a bitch that goes around dipping into different clients of his until he's tired of them. A savior complex. He's always around people who are looking for love, so it's a perfect opportunity. And he's rich too. He could pay us for their silence, I bet. Mar. I know. You don't want to think about him like that. I don't want to either. He's the reason I believe in the whole praying for Eros thing after all. Yeah, I know. Mar. Yeah? I love you. Her eyes widened in surprise for a moment, then she smiled and laughed. Oh, me? You learned the skill of saying I love you from your friends. Oh, shut up. I'm just saying what I should have said before, anyway. Well, I love you too. No matter what, you'll always have me at your side. Same here. Yep. The night breeze was comforting whenever my head felt muddled. Pushing through my work was a natural given trait, but I failed to do so without thinking about Melrose. Every minute, every second had been spent reeling through every moment with him. All the mistakes I made in trying to get closer. Gradually becoming greedier with bits of time that I had. If I'd have never pursued him further, then none of this would have happened. Unfortunately, this life of mine doesn't allow me to dwell in the past, even attempt to change it. I must always suffer the consequences. I let out a heavy sigh. The feeling of another familiar presence grabbed my attention. It's honestly a surprise whenever you grace me with your presence. I am everything but a busy man, teacher. Should you wish to see me again, you simply ask. What is it you want? I like that you're on the point, and you're to the point. Suits you more than beating around the bush. He came to join me at the railing of the roof and ran his fingers along it. I don't understand why watching you has been pissing me off so much. Naturally, what you do will give me a result either way. But it's annoying. You have him under your thumb. You've done everything you possibly can to receive another punishment if found out. And yet, I'm trying to protect him. Are you? I don't think you'd have slept with him if you were. In fact, you'd have kept him entirely at arm's length. Instead, you had that cute little itch for something more. Enough. What do you want from me? Don't quit. You started this, and I would like you to see you finish it. Rose deserves more than what you've attempted to do to him. Thespiae has his eyes on me now. Besides, I have no right to love him. I am merely my concept, nothing more. Aren't we all? That is no excuse for your incredibly fickle position. My fickle position upsets you. It does not. Rather, you've faced this before. And though many of us did not voice it back then, I felt your punishment was unjust. Blasphemous to say so, isn't it? But I can afford it now. As the pillars of love, what's stopping us from being able to love? It's simply a rule that's in place. It cannot be overturned. A rule that discourages love made by the god of love. How strange. I wonder if Eros came up with that himself, considering that he hasn't been awake to do so. After saying something accusatory, Vitale feigned to look of innocence. He knew me well enough to tell that I would catch it. He hasn't been awake to do so. What do you mean awake? Eros is dead, or rather, he has become the very realm we live in. As one of the first Cupidine. Are you sure? Did you see his body, or the signs that he was in Thespiae? That was impossible. Wrong. You are wrong, teacher. Something special occurs when a god dies. That thing has not happened, and yet Cupidine are born in a cycle regardless, regularly. Just as they return to nothing, they come back anew in a matter of years. My eyes widened at his trajectory. I couldn't believe my conclusion. That would mean everything else that came with it. I turned to face him fully, narrowing my eyes. So what then? If you believe this to be true, then as a god, can't you do something? I am merely here to watch. I am love adjacent. But that doesn't mean I can simply take over his baggage. Perhaps you've learned that from me too. He narrowed his eyes, saying nothing in response. We both stared into the inky sky, with much of our minds and nothing left to say to each other. I was making the most of my time with Marlo. With her returning in the day, I wanted to make sure I could properly send her off this time. The first thing she wanted to gorge on was pet latte food. Then we saw a pop-up attraction where we bought a couple outfits. Eventually, our journey led to the mall. By the time we could sit down, we had plenty of bags. She had taken the car. Exercise is good for you. That's what you say when you know you should have taken the car. How are you getting all this back home? Esmond said he'll drive back and get me. Just stuff it in his trunk. How are things there, by the way? Absolutely amazing. But... There's a but. I get a little scared sometimes, you know? Life feels too good, too happy. And I worry if it's just a dream. Nonsense. Look at you scaring yourself up. I don't want to hear that from you, sir. You'll be fine. From the bits I've seen, Esmond and his family really love you. I don't think they'll let you fall. You'd be the perfect wife and he'll be the perfect husband. They'll be your new family. And you and Granny will still be a part of that. I haven't given up on my devious plot to move you out of here. I'll think about it. Maybe Quasimir's run dry for me. Hell yeah! I mean, take as much time as you need. You're so stupid. Mid-conversation, Marlo straightened her back awkwardly while sipping her latte, looking at something. I followed her gaze to see Dr. Love just as he approached the table. I need you to keep these. He handed over a folder with my name on it. I assumed they were documents for my forecasting. Raising a brow, I pushed the folder back. I don't need it, nor do I want it. I said you could do whatever with it. And I'm doing just that. It's no longer company material. Keep it. Throw it away. If you give it to me, I'm tossing it. You must get rid of it, then burn it. Anything to make sure that grimy hands don't get on it. But I cannot keep it, and you shouldn't simply throw it away. Okay. Melrose. I'm very sorry to put you through this, but I ask that you trust me on this, if nothing else. I don't think I can do that. Excuse me, Dr. Love. We flinched in unison as Marlo inserted herself in the conversation. I figured she might attempt it, but I didn't think she would, given who he was. If you want Melrose to trust you, you need to say it properly. Explain what you mean clearly to avoid conclusion. 'Cause, for me, it seems like you're both having different conversations right now. She awkwardly resumed sipping her latte, turned to face the shoppers. Dr. Love's blank stare grew softer, as he locked eyes with me again. I didn't understand what she meant, but it made him move closer and whisper in my ear. Your life may be in danger if I keep these documents. I flinched back, earning a briefly troubled expression from him before he sighed. Since the contract is void, there's no reason to keep it. We have no right to store it. Why can't you tell me everything? What's up with the documents? Dr. Love shook his head as if to urgently keep me from speaking about it. You still maintain the right over the documents, so you may view them as you please. That information can help you if you want to pursue your own investigation in finding your soulmate. I'm sorry I couldn't do more for you. He bowed his head at me and looked at Marlowe, who kept peeking at us. It was nice finally to meet you. Bearing a small smile, he retreated just as quickly as he'd come. I was seconds from launching up at the table and chasing him had Marlowe not grabbed my arms. I think we should head back home. I was so nervous after returning home. Pacing back and forth in the living room, Marlowe watched me from her spot on the couch while eating a bagel. So, in other words, you have paparazzi on you now? I guess. Potentially. I couldn't explain all the crazy otherworldly shit to her. It'd be too much of a hassle to get her to believe it without sounding insane, which for her probably felt like a normal thing for me. But I didn't have the time to convince her it was real. The problem is knowing how much they know. Can't he tell you that? Paparazzi don't seem too powerful. Kinda crazy to get scoops, but not like they can tap your phone or something. Or can they? That's scary. Let's just say the people who stalk him are a little abnormal. Like, crazed fans, maybe. Are you saying that other than being a menace, they could likely hurt you? Or kill me? Yes. What the hell? Maybe you should come back with me for a bit till this dies down. You tried calling or texting him to discuss what to do? He can't just leave you to deal with this baggage by yourself. Separating was his form of protection. Although it probably felt more validated with my ending the contract to begin with. Perhaps if I lie low, they'll lose interest. I know what things are like on his end. If they're doing pop-ups on him, then it didn't surprise me if he'd rather not take the risk openly talking with me. I texted him. Why are they looking for me? He responded immediately. I never handed over your information. If you recall, the 16th that he kept talking about was you. That's why? Then why'd you hold on to it? They'd have discovered you immediately. Your forecasting was abnormal. My forecasting? What'd he say? I walked to the coffee table, grabbed the documents. A lot of it had been a detailed notation of the things we talked about, his deductions from it. But the pages I needed most were the actual readings he did. Interference in finding me a singular match caused confusion to fill the notations. I was compatible with a vast group of people, but no one at the same time. So no matter how hard he tried to narrow it down to a single soulmate or partner for me, he just couldn't. I can't understand what this document means. This is the psych phenomena, or at least this is what I refer to as. Ah, to be claimed by no one. Huh. May, do you remember Psyche's story? Or how she was so beautiful that many people loved her, but they felt she was unattainable, so no one tried? Yeah. Don't tell me that's his excuse for not trying to date you. No, Mar. I just learned something. That's all. Not that it was anything new to me. I'd always believed myself to be a curse. This had been confirmed, that thought process. Was I cursed because of Eros? Or was it just Psyche's misfortune passing down the family tree? Obviously, we had to find love. She had to find love herself in order to even have a bloodline. How could it even be true if I was both things? Lovable and unattainable. It made no sense to me. The more I thought about it, the more it pained me to know. It was achievable for us to find, but was it for me? I don't know. I don't know every family member struggle with this. Mom and Dad even felt a tragic end. For all I know, I could find somebody and then we'd die too. Don't think too much about it. I will continue to look into what's the matter with you. Your happiness is of utmost importance. That's not what I wanted to hear from you. He was being considerate of me, showing me sympathy. I appreciated that, but what I wanted from him was something he established he couldn't give to me. Perhaps by now, no one could. Hey May, come sit down with us for a second. She was always so perceptive to my mood changes. She could always tell when I was sad, to be exact. It was so kind that it hurt. And yet, another reminder. I leaned my forehead against the wall. I couldn't go to her. Caught in my thoughts, my eyes roamed into my room, where I saw something walking around. My heart nearly stopped at the sight. Through the crack, I saw that they were dressed in white and appeared to have wings. A Cupidine was in the apartment. I swallowed, instinctively pressed the call button on Dr. Love's number, before discreetly walking to Marlowe. Say, let's talk about a funny situation. A funny one? What? The paparazzi randomly climbed in the window. What would you do? I'm kicking their ass, of course. I'd definitely call the cops. I stood in front of her with the phone at my side. The Cupidine phased through the wall and began strolling around the room. It had been the exact one from the office. I don't want to be rude, but I don't think that having the automated thing helps encourage voter. I saw on our Twitch that it's not recommended for smaller streamers. I think that, what's it called? There was a time where I had to go in and like change like something that like it phased through. But I do remember what's it called, getting a lot more spam like from the caller, I guess from the specific like spam bots. I think that, what's it called? Sometimes I kind of go back and forth between having it on and off, but usually, like, having it on gives me a reason why I don't have it on, and turning it off gives me a reason to turn it back on. So it's kind of like a weird lose-lose situation. My breath strained, but I fought to keep my composure so that Marlowe wouldn't grow alarmed. You jumped into fighting them so fast. What if that's more harmful than good? Really? You of all people saying that? I won't fight someone I deem to be potentially armed. I guess you're right. You gotta protect yourself. Maybe hiding would be better. What if they're thorough with their search? They want that scoop real bad, Mar. Jeez. I think I just have to fight them till the cops show. Maybe running works. You'll never take me alive. Her animatedness brought a smile to my face, while the man drew closer to us. I could feel his eyes walking all over me, trying to read my behavior. Disgusting. But, it'd be kinda hard for them to get in here. So if you're afraid, don't be. I heard lots of stories. Some of them go a natural length for a scoop. Almost like they're not human. I didn't even know if Dr. Love answered the phone, but I prayed he would hear and understand what I was trying to say. This is how he handled things, so he should understand it best. I wasn't sure if I could keep the casual act up much longer. The Cupidine was standing directly in my face as I looked to where Marlowe should be. if he wasn't blocking the view. I don't know why she insists on knowing whether he had red hair, but it is without doubt red. He eyed up and down. One of his hands even reached for the folder in my hand to peek at the contents. I can't see without potentially disturbing him. Maybe if I make him drop it. What's this? That feeling. He looked at the fountain pen sticking out of my jacket pocket. I felt the scream at the back of my throat, his fingertips raising to touch it. And it was over. I couldn't resist the urge to slap his hand with the folder, scattering it to the floor. Huh? Our eyes met. I knew my cover was blown. He knew without a single doubt that I could see him. Immediately, I grabbed the fountain pen, jabbed him with it. Ah! It landed directly on his arm and came out cleanly as he sank to the ground. His blood was on my hand and dripping on his wound on my face, on the floor. What is that? Ooh! Marlo panicked, pulling her legs up from the couch, as if she'd seen a mouse or something. Ew, what the hell? Yeah, it was a bit intense. Oh no, the squelches was so gross. Why is there suddenly blood on your hand and spilling on the floor right there? I can't explain it right now. The Cupidine rose and smacked me across the face, sending me falling over the table. I clutched the pen tight, but I lost the phone in exchange. As I scrambled my feet, the Cupidine threw his foot into my side with substantial force. Melrose! Despite the pain, I slashed the Cupidine's leg, drove the pen to his foot. The pain must have been excruciating. You ingrate! Perhaps you're better off dead! At that, his weight pressed down on me. His glove hand seized my throat, all the while trying to aim the pen at his face and hand. I couldn't breathe at all. If he squeezed any harder, my throat was going to be crushed for real. I wanted to tell Marlo to run, but I choked on my words. Get away from him! Stop! She yelled, grabbing a sturdy vase, swinging at the man, the blow connecting with him, knocking him off me. I tried to motion for her to leave, but the air rushed back to my throat was too abrupt for words. Coughing up my lungs might have been the only thing I was capable of. I got back up and grabbed Marlo by the shirt. With a clean toss, her body hit the wall with a loud thud. She hit the floor. She didn't get back up. I wheezed out, rolling onto my stomach as the Cupidine walked over her. My body grew hot. Regaining composure was impossible. The fear of him standing over her began to consume me. She was going to die. She's going to die. He's going to kill her. He's going to kill her. But that is positive good. No one's around to save us. I have to do it myself. Marlo! I forced myself onto my feet, fountain pen in hand, rushed at him, blind with rage. I ducked down as he swung his arms, aiming upward with the fountain pen. He'd been left open, and before I knew it, the pen found itself lodged into his chest. With a minor struggle, he collapsed to the floor in front of Marlo. His blood spilled from underneath him, slipping through the cracks on the wooden floor. My mind raced, staring at him. Then Marlo. She still wasn't moving. Was she even breathing? My vision was too unsteady. I had to check her pulse, but I was too afraid. I didn't want to confirm that she was dead. She couldn't be dead, right? How was he gonna find out? Not yet. I decided to remove the body from the main room, dragging him to Marlo's old room. I thought once he died, he'd just disappear. He didn't. He was very dead on my floor. His blood was everywhere, even on me. I wasn't sure what to do or how to go about hiding the evidence. I was even more screwed than just having my identity revealed. If they find out about the dead Cupidine, they'll certainly kill me. I locked him in my room and hurried to my room, pulling on a hoodie to cover my bloody clothes. I have to go. I have to go. Pen in hand, I hurried to the apartment elevators. My mind ran through every place I could. Came up blank. My thoughts kept roaming back to Marlowe being left in the room. I couldn't go back now. Did Dr. Love even answer the phone? He did. Did he hear what happened? Will he come for me? Does he care? I'm scared. I have to go. I can't rely on whether he'll come for me. He already washed his hands clean of it. Of direct contact with me. The abrupt shriek of the elevator caused me to fall against the wall. The whole thing came abrupt. What the hell? This can't be fucking happening now. No. I need to get out of here. Slamming my fist against the door, I looked at the control panel and pressed the emergency door. Only static came through the speaker. My lungs tightened, realizing that I was stuck and covered in blood. Help! Fuck! I can't! If someone helped, they'd eventually see what I had done. The elevator had a ceiling exit, but I was too short to even attempt to push it. I rubbed my throat, trying to keep the whimpers and panic at bay. Think. Use your head. I struck myself with the palm of my hand. Forceful nudge, hoping that something would come to mind, but all it gave me was heartache, headache, and a nearly stiff neck. A tug of my hoodie drew me back against the wall, so hard my vision blurred. The intense heat pulsed and spread like an icy pressure through my skull. I slid through the door, and everything faded to black. Melrose was nowhere to be when I was found. I think after this particular part or chapter, I might head out. Starting to feel it in my throat. I gotta keep it good for tomorrow because I gotta do Deltarune. Or I'm planning on doing the fifth chapter of Deltarune. Yeah. Melrose was nowhere to be found. The only person I saw was a young lady dear to him. Soundly out cold and still breathing, a relief in the otherwise grim situation. I transferred her unconscious body to the couch. Her appearance didn't strike me as life-threatening, but I was still worried. I aimed to pinpoint where Melrose could have been. Felt another presence in one of the other rooms. That's when I noticed the trail of blood and loose feathers. Melrose. A tepid energy fell upon me, where I phased into the room. What I saw was unlike what I had imagined it to be. Vitale stood there, incredibly still, staring at the deceased facilitator on the ground. His blood pooled around him and the murder weapon was gone. What was this? What happened here? You are late. Where's Melrose? Obviously not here. Do you not see this? He did this? Waste no time on this matter. Rose is in grave danger. You are behind. Pick up the pace. Shaken by the sight, I nodded at his words. The facilitator should have been the least of my concerns. Thespiae has gotten its hands on him. At this rate, he will die. You need to go now. If you knew this, why didn't you go? I don't think we have time for passing responsibilities, teacher. The new apple of your eye is going to die. Did you not hear that? I know, but there's effectively nothing I can do. Are you that pathetic that you're not even going to try? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you have the power to save him. It frustrated me to feel powerless. However, I couldn't be foolish to think that going to Thespia empty-handed would be any good for Melrose. All this time I had believed I could do something for him, but in reality I couldn't. Nothing I did would help. If anything, I'd simply made things worse by trying to cling on to the idea of being meaningful to him. In the end, I left him vulnerable and a beacon for Aphrodite. Vitalia's hands grabbed my throat, yanking me closer. His vicious stare threatened to tear me apart. Take my bow if you need to. Don't be a fool. He has chosen you. But your bow... Listen, you no longer have a choice. I'm making it for you. A swift kick connected with my stomach, sending me back through one of his spindly portals. The last thing I saw of him was a look of disdain. My back collided through the wall. The hearty glow of the ceiling and the many Cupidine gathered above me, blinding my field of vision. The cacophony of voices amid rowdy tugs and pushes felt barbaric. I'd hardly witnessed such a thing in my time of being alive. The moments were a rarity, so the savagery was easy to forget. Shocked by my state of delirium, I rose to the ground and snapped towards Melrose's cries. What are you waiting for? Finish this! He killed a fellow Cupidine. I do think punishment is fair. But he's only human. Humans aren't like us. Death is too much. You killed your fellow brethren. And you have room for sympathy? Have you not heard of eye for an eye? There are other ways to handle this than torture, milady. Please. I don't want to take his heart. Oh. Not gonna lie. This is a pretty good sight to be seen. I could get used to this. In between two nice thighs. One here, one there. Sorry, I can't help myself sometimes. Melrose lay curled on his back, brandishing a long gash down the center of his chest, bleeding freshly. I could hardly form the words. Then how about I do it myself? Such is fair, given he is indeed from the blood of our enemy. Give me the pen. Don't touch him! My words barreled through the shouts of the other Cupidine and quieted him to silence. The ire of Lady Aphrodite turned to me instead. Simonius, you failure of a Cupid. You were given a second chance at life, living longer than any other Cupidine, and you still made the same grave mistake. Tell me, do you know what he did to that facilitator? I only just found out, but he was protecting himself. Otherwise, that facilitator would have committed the sin of killing a human. Perhaps if he were a normal human, a different rule applies to those born of that accursed woman. He is so far removed from her, it's ridiculous to keep up this manhunt. And yet you've fallen in love with a human of her blood. Again. I have not. I haven't. You fool. No, you fooled no one. I have not. I am not allowed to do that. I do not love him. I found Melrose watching me with weak and belabored breaths. Allowing myself a second longer proved heartbreaking as a tear rolled down his cheek. I tore my gaze away. The wound could be treated, but he's bleeding out. He'd die if I wasted any more time. And I don't believe you. So I will see it to you that you have your last reminder. He snatched a fountain pen from Accardi's hand and leapt onto the podium. I knew moments before her next move that she intended to mercilessly drive the pen into his body. There was no other choice. I drew Vitali's thorny bow, aimed at the goddess, and shot her. I'd never fired a bow like this, so when the arrow connected, I didn't know what to expect. A frenzied episode became of her, wrought with anger and jealousy for two of the Foundation members behind her. The three argued amongst each other, unfolding an untold affair that we Cupidine were none the wiser. The happily married Aphrodite had been in an intimate relationship with one of the said pair, airing her grievances about this secret engagement. I and the other Cupidine stood there, stunned by the outlandish display. And then... Ah! If you will not belong to me, then death is what you are owed. Lady Aphrodite! He died instantly, leaving his lover in horror. This wasn't something we expected from her, but her cruelty knew no bounds. How could this result from shooting her? I'm sorry, in a game about Smite, I heard you say something about Deltarune, but both are great games. Oh, I was mentioning Deltarune because I'm planning on playing it tomorrow. I was playing Paper Mario originally, but I wanted to put it on hold and, like, what's it called? Put in the latest chapter of Deltarune because I didn't want to be spoiled. I was like, wait a second, like, as I started to see the reviews going, I was like, you know what? Like, maybe I can just finish, like, what's it called? Like, Paper Mario. And then I saw somebody being like, has anyone else experienced the ending? And then I instantly was like, oh no, I know you guys aren't going to respect that. You guys see spoilers and are like, I want to talk to everybody about this on an open forum. I'm like, you don't need to do this. Not out in the open. Like, at least, like, let me have some time with it before you give me all of the spoilers for what they say and what they do. So yeah, tomorrow I'm playing Deltarune. So what's it called? I'm not sure if To Kill Eros has anything in common with Deltarune. Sometimes, like, what's it called? I see the I saw a bit of the Icardi one as like a little bit of like a Ralze type, but only because I gave him a lisp. Or my original Ralze sounds like this because he's got fangs. So I gotta like get back into like all of my different like voices for that. Like Chris's is pretty easy. What's it called? Susie's is just like my regular voice. Some of the voices are pretty easy as long as it's not like the weirdo characters, like the what's it called? I think I've had to strain myself a bit whenever I did Lancer. I really love voice acting. That's a huge reason why I do a lot of visual novels, because it's one of those things where I really love to like put in the voices. So if you watch a playthrough of me, expect me to like what's it called, have like some random voices done in mind. I know sometimes that annoys people and they just want like the dialogue read and nothing more, but my streams up obnoxious. But yeah, I like ended up really like falling for like the Ralze voice I gave for him because it was just very cute and like and sweet. So like I was like, oh man, like I endeared to him just because like what's it called? I'm like doing clips and I'm like, oh my little baby. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to be able to not do them as much just because it like kind of is a little easier on my voice, but I just really love to be able to like bring a lot of like the characters to life in the games I play. So I'm always keen on like just being like I want to be able to like pull it off. Die, die, die! She continued to stab the corpse as the lover cried behind her. The third Foundation member slipped away from the three, equally disturbed, if not more than we were. What is this? She'd been trying to kill Melrose before, but she'd shifted gears entirely. It was his power. Right, he was the... Aphrodite stopped her unhinged chanting, stared at the dark-clad god. then appeared before her in a blink. Something was off about him, looping from one side, as if inebriated or dazed. Even you are not above it. But you're not supposed to be here. Sinners must be punished, Aphrodite. He raised his cursed hand and drove into her chest, quickly removing her heart. Aphrodite collapsed on the floor, staining the white tiles. Unfortunately, a nightmare follows. As if on cue, my vision blurred and eroded into darkness. Panic and chaos thrust at me from every given direction. The screams of terror from every cupidine in the room filled my ears with heightened senses. I couldn't see. I was sure that my eyes were open, but the darkness was all I saw. Bodies slammed into me, brushed past me, knocked me over. I had been the only one affected. From the sound of it, no one else could see. Melrose, where are you? I called out, crawling on the floor, as feet trampled and the bodies rolled before me. Crashing and flapping of wings continued overhead. I dragged myself to where I last remembered seeing Melrose, smelling the scent of iron. Feeling the damp thickness against the palm of my hands, I found him. Melrose, is that you? Speak to me, please. I touched the body that lay there, feeling the fabric of his torn hoodie, the tear of his shirt. Our surroundings were too chaotic to stay put. I couldn't risk him getting more injured. Do you have a Discord? Yes. My Discord message, or my Discord account, is just Rachna Roka, but like without the I have to look. Is it with or without the is not saying. It just says R. Oh, it's because it's streamer mode enabled. Usernames have been disable it. Rachna_Roka. Oh, I don't have a server, sorry. I have an account, but I don't have a server. So I was meaning to make one, but I've been putting it off for like the past 3 years. It's okay. I have you now. Scooping him into my arms, I made my way to where I'd last remembered the courtroom walls safe being. Once safe, I checked his wounds again. Then I touched his bare skin. It was cold. Ah! The blood is cold. The floor is cold. Perhaps you've lain there too long. I stripped off my coat and wrapped him in it. We're leaning against the wall. I can't seem to patch up your wound. I have nothing to tend to it. I'm sure it's painful that you cannot speak. I should have been faster. You can at least hear me, right? I believe the world is ending right now. Perhaps leading to a new beginning. I wonder if we shall be a part of that new beginning. You likely will again. Someday. I pray that when you do, you'll find someone more worthy than me to love you, Melrose. With that, I lifted my hand to the cavity of my chest, and... Oh, this is a oh, this is a chaos ending. Wait a second. Ah. Return? Oh. Oh no. Let's see load. So is negative influence the fight? Yeah, that's the fight. Alright, so now that I at least got one ending under my belt, I am going to continue this the next time around. So, oh, oops. Alright. I tried to add you on Discord. Oh, let me see. Oh, it is. I don't see it. Oh, sorry. Um, it would be. I think. Let me put it in here. Or maybe I'll. What's it called? I'll send a private message. A whisper. There we go. Let's see. A whisper. Oh. Where's the whisper? Mm. What? Yeah, this would be my main one. Oh, oops. Let me try that then. Boop, 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 boop. Um, that was from the 2024. Oh, I have to like try to search for it. Boop, boop, boop.